So are you somebody who used to know what you were doing when it came to Disney World planning and now you feel like you're learning a whole new language? We get you. Here are 9 ways Disney World planning has changed in the last couple of years to get you caught up. After I share this list of 9 things with you, hopefully you will feel more caught up to speed and a little bit more confident going into your next trip. Number 1, park pass reservations are required. If you take nothing else away from this entire list, make sure you know this one, because without it, you won't be able to get into the theme parks. Park pass reservations are freely available once you have your park tickets, but they are required. It is Disney's way of monitoring capacity. During the lower capacity times, it allowed them to make sure they were staying under certain numbers, and now I think they just like it for staffing purposes and things like that. So right now it is here to stay, so make sure that you include this step in your planning process. You don't want to be one of those families, and there are many of these stories that have everything paid for, families on a plane to Florida, and they have no park pass reservations, because if you show up and don't have it, you won't be allowed into the parks. And sometimes during really busy times of the year, they are sold out because the parks are at capacity. So just make sure you snag that whenever you have your park tickets purchased. Number 2, park hopping now begins at 2 o'clock. So it used to be that if you had park tickets with the park hopper option added on, that you could come and go to all the parks freely as you wish. However, now you have to go to your first park with your park pass reservation, and then the second park is available starting at 2 o'clock. The official starting time is 2 o'clock. In reality, they often will start a few minutes before that. But you can hop to your second park and enter at that point, and at that point you can come and go from the parks freely if you want to. There are no, as of right now, park pass reservations needed for that second park. There have been rumors that that was going to be a thing, but so far Disney has not made that a requirement. There are a lot of anxieties from people about that second park. Like, are they going to reject me? Am I going to be allowed in? What if they're at capacity? And in theory, Disney absolutely could do that, but it has rarely ever happened. There is a number you can call before you hop if you want to, and you can add that to your contacts, and you can call it. It'll tell you if they're allowing people to hop. But almost always the answer to that is yes. Number 3, table service dining reservations work a little bit differently now. So the first thing that has changed with advanced dining reservations is that they are no longer booked at 180 days out, they are now 60 days out. So a little shorter timeline with that, so make sure you got that on your calendar correctly. In addition, when you go to make them at 60 days out, you may be surprised at the availability, because even if you're on right when they open up, you may not get everything that you wanted. And that's because the parks have been really busy and the restaurants aren't always operating at full capacity, so that makes it harder to snag those spots. Because of that, in the last couple of years, the dining alert tools have gotten really, really popular. And the way these services work is that you put in the date and time and place that you would like to eat somewhere, and if they detect that an opening has popped up, they will email you or text you to let you know, and if you see it quickly enough, you can go and snag it for your trip. So if you log on at 60 days and don't get everything you want, look into one of the tools to help you snag it before your trip. Number 4, the Disney Genie system. It exists. This is a whole can of worms in itself. So of all the things on the list, the Disney Genie system is going to be the most difficult. There are a lot of new terms and functionality and things to learn if you want to be able to skip the standby lines when you're in the theme parks. So within the Genie system, there are lightning lanes, which is the new name for FastPass. It used to be that FastPass Plus reservations were included with your park ticket and could be booked way ahead of time. Lightning lanes cost extra. Everything is a fee nowadays, and you can't book them until you are there on that day. I will fully admit that it is very overwhelming. Even if you are like watching videos or reading articles, it is a lot to learn. I would suggest getting the basics down. We have a whole video just about the basics of the Disney Genie system, and we also have links to articles that we've written. And so get the basics down and have a plan for which rides you think you're going to be interested in. And once you're there and you're putting it all into action, it will start to click and make sense as you navigate the parks. Number 5, extra magic hours now have a new name. So extra magic hours in the before times were times before and after the parks were open that on-site guests could be in the parks outside of the normal operating hours. These still exist, but in a new way and under new names. The morning version is called Early Entry. It is available every single day to all on-site guests for 30 minutes before the park's official opening time. During really busy times of the year, sometimes Disney will expand that to an hour, but usually it's 30 minutes every single day. In the evening, there is extended evening theme park hours. These terms are getting more tedious and difficult to remember, but those are only available for deluxe and villa guests, and they're only available a couple of times a week, usually just at Magic Kingdom and Epcot. You'll have to check the schedule before your trip to see when they're available for your trip dates. In order to use the extended evening theme park hours, you will have to have a park pass reservation in that park or park hopper tickets to allow you to enter. Number 6, dining has gone more mobile. So there are a couple different ways that this is manifest. So first of all, if you are a person who used to use mobile ordering for quick service restaurants, just know that that has been expanded to a lot more restaurants. So that will be familiar to you if you used it before, but there will be more options. The other way that dining has gone more mobile is that you now do check-in for table service restaurants in the app. You do have to be in the vicinity of the restaurant to do that. And in this check-in process, you can specify things like food allergies, and most restaurants will even allow you to add an additional guest if you need to. After you check in, the restaurant will message you to let you know that it is your turn and you can proceed to the podium to enter the restaurant. Number 7, MagicBands have changed a bit. So MagicBands, the bracelets you can wear that allow you to get into your hotel room, into the parks, or to board the rides, those still exist, but they're no longer free for on-site guests. You can still buy them if you want them, and that is more available in person than online, but they're still available. If you don't want to buy the MagicBands, you can get a card at your hotel that will be your room key and all the other functionality that I mentioned if you would like. Just not as convenient as a MagicBand, which is right on your wrist. Another option that you have for some of this functionality is called Magic Mobile, which is available for iPhone users, and it allows you to use the Apple Wallet and My Disney Experience on your phone for many of the same features that I have mentioned for MagicBands. We have had mixed experiences with these, so I always like to have a MagicBand as a backup just in case the phone doesn't work, but it is available. In addition to all of those, MagicBand Plus is now an option, and it is a MagicBand that has more functionality and also costs more. So these MagicBands do various things, but that includes interacting with things in the parks, and they have haptic vibrations that will vibrate with the nighttime shows. So that is an option as well for MagicBand functionality. Magical Express no longer exists. I am betting that you probably already knew that, but I would be remiss not to mention it. So it used to be super easy. If you didn't want to worry about transportation, you could hop on that bus and head to your hotel. With Magical Express going away, people do have to think about this step in the planning. You can still do other bus options if you would like. And in fact, we tested 4 different options on a recent trip if you would like to check out that information. We tend to like ride share for groups that don't need car seats, and for groups that do need car seats, you might want to consider private car service, which often can be a lot more convenient than some of the other choices. And lastly, the nighttime entertainment has changed. So over at Magic Kingdom, we used to have the very beloved Happily Ever After fireworks, RIP. Now we have Disney Enchantment. And at Epcot, there was the long-running illumination show, which has been replaced by Harmonious. In addition, I feel like I need to mention this because it is new. Spaceship Earth. It is actually maybe one of our favorite nighttime entertainment things. It is lit up and there's often music playing. So if you were going to be at Epcot, I would make sure you budget a few minutes to stop by Spaceship Earth before you head out of the park, because it is something worth seeing. All right, so that is the list. I hope that you've learned some things and are feeling a bit more confident about your own trip plans, but feel free to leave comments or questions down below and we'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.